God, what the hell is that?
I'm the sheriff. I'm the sheriff.
You're the police. Where are your badges?
I don't have to show you any stinking badges.
That's because I'm a star. Genuine sports personality. A legendary folk hero.
Jesus Christ.
There he is. Very baddest cat in the joint. Even the guards are terrified of him.
You can call me when I have to call my lawyer. They bring me a telephone. Would you like to leave me your home phone number?
I don't want to hear any of this. I don't want to hear no more of this.
Wait a minute, I'm just getting to the weird part.
The weird part.
Yeah, it gets weird.
Say we take off, loop the site from orbit. It's the only way to be sure. Let's do it.
Can you do that?
I can do anything. I'm the chief of police.
Somebody, please, for the love of God, tell me what the oranges are for. I still don't get that. Thursday. I got to tell you, if you, man, anybody catch the news lately? Anybody seen what's going on in the news? I couldn't help it. I got such good schadenfreude this morning. Oh, my goodness. Oh, man, I couldn't wait to get to, I was sitting here literally looking at the clock like, come on, I want to go live. I want to do this. And here we are. Man. First, this week started out kind of, I ain't gonna lie, this week started out a little weird for me. It was kind of bizarre. I was like, I ain't real happy right now. I don't know what's going on. I ain't sure. I ain't sure what the hell's happening in my world. It was a little weird. By yesterday started to get a little bit better. I was like, okay, I think we're gonna be all right. Everything seems like it's gonna shake out. And then the news started coming in. And man, I mean to tell you, my day just got nothing but better yesterday. And then last night, I was watching the show with the Outlaws last night in Cole Hauser, and that was a good one. They were doing the Phantom Menace. I'm not an anti-Phantom Menace guy. It's not, it ain't one of my all-time favorites. I'm good with the lightsaber duel, Darth Maul and Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan. I thought, okay, that's badass right there. That's good stuff. You get Ray Park, and he's good. Cold open. What happened? Did the intro not play? I thought the intro played. It said it played the intro. I don't know. YouTube's a little weird this morning. The counter wasn't on, so I don't know what they're doing. I don't know if it was YouTube or if it was StreamYards. You saw the intro. Okay, good. All right. Darth Yeager was probably doing something cold open. Yeah. I get it. Okay, I get it now. Somebody, for the love of God, tell me what the oranges are for. Something on your end. That would suck. I'm sorry. That's okay. You go back and play it on the VOD. You didn't miss much. It was funny. But last night, there's a reason I got the Texas flag background up this morning. News all day yesterday was pretty good, and it was restoring my faith in humanity. A lot of good stuff came out, and not just good, like the team sports kind of my side, their side kind of thing. Humanity in general, because we're going to get into the decision. We all know what it was. I'm going to do a little bit about what it means, but mostly I'm going to talk about today. We're going to kick around why it was an absolutely outstanding ruling. I don't mean just your regular, average, ordinary, okay kind of ruling. I mean solid. It was solid. Boy, my mariachi music was a little loud this morning. we're going to talk about what the ruling was based on. Okay, because there's a lot of bullshit out there about it's voters' rights suppression, all that nonsense. Nah, none of that. We ain't going to talk about that. We're going to do, there you go. Well, I'll do that one too later on. I did that earlier on. I want to put that up in the background. Yeah, Texas passed a law. That was a long time ago. I was part of. Sure, we'll join the union, but before we get all into all that, we got to do. I got to bring this up because poor Spider Unlimited. He got stiff this morning. Marianne wins the gold once again in the chat Olympics. Comes across the line the minute the studio is open. And that was, you go, Marianne, she's usually the first one in the door. Poor Spider pulled up the silver, and he was none too happy about her. He was literally sitting there refreshing his browser, and bam, he got smoked. And then Zephyr showed up with the bronze this morning. So congratulations. Well played, Zephyr. Love that. Man, I was with y'all this morning. I was watching people load in here. I saw Jake cut out a little bit early. He had stuff to do. That's cool. But, man, I had so much good stuff on my own. I'm chomping at the bit. Let's go early. I'm like, nah, I can't go early. Wouldn't be right. Wouldn't be fair. Italian Jim, welcome aboard. Watch the language. Dark Lord of the Cinema, Darth Yeager. Everyone having a great Thursday so far? You bet. Wayfarer in here carrying the load, doing the business end of the show. Like and subscribe, hit the bell, tell a friend, buy an extra in case you run out of the first one. All that good stuff. World's most dangerous working nurse. Donna Hall shows up lurking in the background. Zach's here. Zach Harris Playroom. Morning, Zach. Man, this list keeps getting longer and longer every day. I love that shit. That's outstanding. Language warning on this stream. Yeah, there should be. There should be. There's going to be. Especially today. So last night, I was having... Okay, I get back to what I was talking about earlier. First of all, if anybody hasn't seen the news, let's get this out of the way. No, you know what? Let me finish my story. We'll get on down the road here in a minute. So... I was watching the news yesterday and was coming out about the Supremes and the ruling, the Calais case, and the Voting Rights Act and all that good stuff. There is a premise that I think people get hung up on, and that's that we're a democracy, that the U.S. is a democracy. That's not true. Not only is that not true, it's fairly limited in its institutions. We are a constitutional republic, a representative government with democratic institutions. All right. But even the Greeks knew that democracy was bullshit. I can't stand when people go, we're democracy. Man, democracy is three wolves and a sheep trying to figure out what's for dinner. That is not how it works. Okay. There is a very, very thin needle that you got to thread with government when you get a lot of people together. There's two kinds of tyranny that you can live under. The tyranny of the majority and the tyranny of a very vocal minority. Well, you see right now kind of how things are shaking out. We've been living under the tyranny of an extremely vocal minority for quite some time. And now we're going away from that. Yesterday, news breaks, get to see the redistricting ruling. Like, okay, I'm good. I'm very happy about that. Start reading through it, looking at dissent, looking at the majority opinion. Okay, I get it. It's sound, and I appreciate the majority opinion, the basis, all that good stuff. Now, it's going to take a little while for that to fix itself, so we're clear. And we'll get to the how and why, all that here in a little bit. But I got to see it in application in real time yesterday evening. I was watching the Outlaw show, had Kohlhauser. That's where I started this whole thing off. Had Kohlhauser on. Speaking of which, hey, average person is stupid, so they don't understand the Constitution. And that's from the Canadian Colossus, folks. Doesn't even have our Constitution. Bet you wish you did, though. Bet you wish you did, big fella. So I was watching the show last night. They're having a good old time, but unfortunately, I got to split my attention because I'm also in the middle of another thing. It's a government thing, and I'm paying attention to it. And I got to kind of listen in. So I'm watching Mrs. McCoy work, and she's good. And I'm watching this thing. Darth, yeah, don't forget about me. Yeah, we do wish we had your Constitution. I hear you, brother. Someday soon, man. You just keep your powder dry. It'll happen. So this thing I'm watching last night, I'm watching a body go back and forth, and somebody there's a very vocal minority, and they're trying to pull some shenanigans that are, it's essentially trying to get rid of an old boy that frankly I think is fairly solid. And I'm like, and it's pretty much bullshit from start to finish. Well, there was a ruling and there's law that exists that said that this vote that was coming up it was largely ceremonial, that the people involved in it didn't really have a choice. They had to vote yes. If they didn't, they'd be in violation of this, that, and the other thing. Now, here's where I'm watching this going, okay, I want to see what the reaction is, because I think this is a foregone conclusion. Now, here's the reason I got the Texas flag up this morning and the reason that I'm so ecstatic. Because in real time, in a 5-person vote on something that they were legally obligated, supposedly, I don't agree with the ruling, but legally obligated supposedly to vote yes. One of them did vote yes because they were following what they were told the law was. And rightly so, I suppose. The other one was the instigator to this whole thing. But 3 of these old boys sitting right next to a lawyer looked dead into the audience and said, nope. And people came uncorked. They loved it because what's going on is bullshit. And there was a bunch of wailing and gnashing of teeth from an extremely small minority. And the rest of these old boys said, you go ahead and drag us all to court. We don't give a shit. Now, sometimes there's a law and it is not just. And it's chicanery and people are doing stuff. They're finding loopholes and they're pulling stunts because that's what the vocal minority does. This wasn't a Democrat-Republican thing by any stretch, but I saw that and man, I came out of my chair. I was ecstatic. Told Mrs. McCoy as soon as she got home, I'm like, I'm flying the Texas flag tomorrow. God, I love this state. Because these old boys stared right at that lawyer and said, yeah, we heard you. He goes, well, did you hear what I advised? They said, yeah, we heard you. We heard what you said. And I am telling you, no, not quite to that scale. Although I did see her. Cole Hauser asked, am I talking about that black chick in the Florida legislature? No, I'm not talking about her. I saw her. That's what a 4-year-old does right there. You pull shit like that on the floor of a legislative body, I think you should just be removed. They should put you in a timeout box, with soundproof glass so that you can point and make fun of them and go, there you go. You want to see stupid? There it is right there. That's what you do with a 4-year-old when they throw a fit, put them in timeout. Nah, these old boys just said, we ain't doing that. So I got to prevaricate on that last night and Supreme Court rulings and looking around at all kinds of news. And I got up this morning and I felt exactly like this. I brodied out, man. I was chomping at the bit this morning. I want to get to it. As Texas goes, so goes America. I wish that was the case, Jim. Some people say California. I don't think that's true. I think Texas and Florida are really going that way. I'm going to do this real quick about redistricting, and then we're going to hit other news, and then we're going to hit the redistricting thing hard because we got some explaining to do. I will defend this statement with my hands. The United States of America is, by an overwhelming majority, a conservative nation. I absolutely believe that to my core. And the only reason that we have the crazy that we have is because we're an incredibly tolerant people. Christians are tolerant folks, man. That whole turn the other cheek thing, that goes a long way. You know, don't mistake my tolerance for weakness by any stretch, but people they put up with a lot of shit in this country. Now, it didn't used to be like that. It is now, and a certain group took advantage, which is why you got what we got now. So it would appear to me that people's tolerance for bullshit has reached its limit, and we're going to go ahead and get on back to, right and wrong and what makes sense. And if you don't like it, that's just too bad. Much like your children, you're doing what's best for them. And if they don't like it, too damn bad. All right, and we'll get back to that here in a little bit. Let's do some news real quick, though, while we at it. Yeah, it's so funny. Last night, Mrs. McCoy, she got on the phone right away as soon as, her job was over. She's like, "Did you see that?" I'm like, "I saw every second of that shit." Of course I saw that. She goes, "What do you think?" I said, "I think I love Texas. That's what I think." All right, let's take a look at the stock futures and a decline in oil prices. Stock futures rise, boosted by strong earnings and a decline in oil prices. There's only a couple of things in here I want to pick out. First of all, oil's still way elevated. That's going to be that way for a little bit longer, but it's going to drop rapidly, and I mean soon, because there's going to be one or two more countries that drop out of OPEC. Once one of the big boys on the block drops out, somebody else, there's going to be a middle-of-the-road country that's going to drop. You get your Libya-ish something that'll drop out because they want to be the first one on the free market. Stock futures rose on Thursday. GDP only popped to 2%, which I think is fantastic. A lot of people go, "Oh, no, it should be higher." No, not right now. We're way overinflated. GDP needs to stay low and slow right now. But Caterpillar shares popped 6%. When you see producers of durable goods and people that build things that build other things doing well, that's a good sign for the economy right there. Amazon, then you got the other half of the spectrum. Amazon selling cheap Chinese-made shit. They're doing well too. So that tells me across the board, both ends of the spectrum, there's big money being spent on items and little money being spent on items. That's good. That's a good thing. Oil prices reversed Thursday. Brent down 3% and West Texas down 2%, 114, 104 respectively. This is still Iran bullshit. And the minute that ends, or if one other country leaves OPEC, then it's going to just drop through the floor. Now, like I said the other day, you don't want it to drop too far because you don't want them boys going out of business either. That's going to be a real bite in the ass, but I don't think that's going to happen. I think that $4.99 in Michigan today for gas. Yeah, we put a gas map up the other day that showed really how bad, because you could kind of average that price out at about one price for the whole country, and then everywhere you live, everything past that is pretty much taxes. So $4.50 in Illinois. Yeah, we're up to about 3.5, a little under 3.5 where I'm at. So to be fair though, I don't drive for shit. I mean, if I can't get there on a bike or by foot, I typically don't go. I might run over, like if I'm running behind in the morning, want to go get a bite, I might drive a mile round trip, if that. Hell, it probably ain't even that. Anyway, so it's not the gas prices that worry me, but overall, you got to worry about the cost of transportation because that affects the whole rest of the economy. What else we got good? Let's do this real quick. If you're into sports at all, if you follow golf, this one was interesting to me. I'm not a huge golf fan. I will sit down and watch the Masters. I'll watch a good tournament every now and again to kind of put it on in the background. I'm not going to sit there glued to it shot for shot, but I'll have it on in the background and follow who's doing what, catch some good golf shots. But this, in conjunction with OPEC starting to crack, this kind of weirded me out a little bit in a good way. I got to pause that real quick before Golf Digest tries to claim me. Live Golf members have reached out to PGA Tour about return, but terms and pathways are more restrictive. So the Live LIV golf members. So this whole Saudi-backed Live Golf group, they are done. They lost their Saudi Arabia's public investment fund backing. That's $8 billion down the drain for anybody that's watching. That's a pretty good chunk of change. Now, the reason, I'm not going to go into the whole reason. It ain't important. It doesn't really cover the financial side of it. It just tells a story about how all the guys that went over to the LIV golf course or golf league, the PGA, like, hey, you go to them, you can't play with us. So now they're trying to get back in, which tells me that not only is that thing done, it's really done for good. Yeah, hey, Jim, that's absolutely. Some of those guys made big bucks. Yeah, they paid a lot of money to get them to come over because they knew they'd be giving it up. They're like, hey, if you participate in this thing, there's a pretty good chance you ain't going to go back to your home team. So, we'll see. But with UAE leaving OPEC, and Jim, here's my Saudi should be the next to drop out. I would, because UAE's a pretty big player in that market. You get them making deals with people, hell, even 6-month contracts. They could steal a lot of money on the open market, trading on their own. So that coupled with this, Saudis that tells me they're starting to make moves. They're thinking about it. They're starting to rethink this whole, OPEC, us against them kind of deal. I'm not sure what their rating. I haven't dug into, where their ratings pour, any of that. I ain't interested in why they collapsed. I want to see the financials. I don't want to hear the reasons that it wasn't viable. I want to see numbers. Why is Saudi Arabia pulling their public investment fund of $8 billion, which to them ain't really, that ain't a lot of money. Yeah, they'll let them back in. PGA will totally let them back in because they're all big draws. They'll come back, no problem. And it wasn't that. It was I'm like, they lost their public fund backing. That's interesting. That's like that Hollywood, the Variety story that was ripping on Michael and his, allegations. Like, why are we calling attention to ourselves doing that? That's a little weird. I'm going to follow that one a little bit because I have a feeling there's something going on. That ain't just about the golf tournament, because that was public fund money. I'm starting to wonder what's going on in that whole region. Are they all getting choked out right now? Got to make, my guess is that's why UAE bailed. They're like, we're all going to get squeezed and I ain't about it. And they decided we're going to get while the getting's good and start making deals with people. Doesn't reflect the cost of the barrel went up by 10%. Yeah. Gas is going to be real wonky for a while. Don't freak out about that. Yeah, since Tiger's gone, they need marketable again. That ain't no joke. Rory McIlroy's only going to carry you so far. They need somebody to get in there. He got a lot of problems too. And that's not a slam against him. He just in the media. His whole personal life's all over. He's got issues left and right. I don't know that affects his crowd, but let us go ahead and move on to, we'll start sliding into the good stuff. Oh, no, wait. No, I got this one I want to do first. Hold on. I am never going to pass up an opportunity. I got to put the music on hold for a second. I never pass up an opportunity to get my man Sheriff Judd in front of a camera. This is on X. One of Grady's world famous press conferences when they catch some scumbag. Now, here's one of the reasons that I dig me some Grady Judd. Because right up front in the story, he tells you what's up. Santa Claus arrested in Florida for trying to meet a 13-year-old for sex. The man was arrested as part of a sting called Operation Child Protector 8. 19 suspects seeking to meet with children were arrested. Here's the part that I dig. Polk County Sheriff Grady Judd said he actually had recently posed for a photo with the man, Thomas Allen Hicks, 68, noting that he was a well-respected well-respected in the community. He didn't just go, hey, we arrested this guy. He said, hey, I actually posed with this dude for a picture because he was supposedly a well-respected. That's a dude that tells you up front, yeah. Sometimes you show up with scumbags. I made a mistake. He kind of looks like the Macy's Day Santa. Yeah, it gets better. Trust me. Guy told he tried paying someone he thought was a 13-year-old girl, turned out to be a detective, $200, saying he's going to be gentle with her. Told detectives he'd been married for 50 years. Check this out. I'm gonna let Grady do his thing.
He was Santa Claus. No worries. He's not going to be Santa Claus this next year. But who is this guy that hides behind this mask as Santa Claus? While he has these sexual proclivities to batter children and in fact traveled to a location thinking he was going to have sex with a little girl.
Man, they're out there everywhere. I'm telling you, they're out there. It's sad.
His name is Tom Hicks. He's 68 years old. He works for Tri-County, a mental health and drug addiction group, in marketing.
Not only is he Santa, he's working with the public on a regular. Tri-County Health, that's one of those government health agencies, your local county health department. They got 3 of them because Polk, Highlands, DeSoto, Osceola, Hardy, bunch of counties in that area, Okeechobee, don't got a lot of money, so they pool their resources.
He's a preacher.
Get out of here.
I'm told of 40 years.
Oh.
He is a professional Santa Claus. He is well regarded in the community.
No, Sheriff. He was well regarded in the community.
Detectives working the operation this last week showed me a photograph of his children sitting on Santa Claus's lap.
Tell me, if you're a detective and you got pictures of your kids sitting on this guy's lap and you go to put the grab on him, when you got the goods on him, he shows up to do what he was paying to do. Oh my goodness. Those are the tough days, folks. Those are the days when you got to make that tough decision. It is everything you can do to keep yourself in check.
While he and his wife stood next to them, thousands and thousands and thousands of children have sat on this guy's lap.
As Santa, to be clear.
Thinking he was Santa Claus, when in fact what he was a child sex predator.
First of all, I see the jokes in chat, and to be fair, they're pretty good. Italian Jim, ho, ho, ho. Welcome to the party, pal. Man, they're out there, folks. John Wayne Gacy was a well-respected member of his community, an important businessman. You can't say things you want to say. YouTube will ban me. Well, that ban us both. We'll run over Rumble. Who gives a shit? I tell you what, man. There's some sick people out there. But I did want to get Sheriff Grady up there. I dig the way that guy works, man. I really do. I've met him in person. He's a good dude. Spends a lot of time with charities. A lot of philanthropic work. I mean, he's a rough old boy. He's big too. You can't really see him You can't really get an idea of it when he's on camera like that. He's a big dude. I'm a 6-footer. I'm over 200 pounds. Not a lot, but. And Sheriff Grady makes me look relatively small. Not kind of Cole Hauser makes you look small, but like normal makes you look small. I'm not talking Andre the Giant kind of shit. Yeah. Santa's going to be making soap candy canes. Man. Married, I don't even want to go down the road. I just want to get Grady out in front of people. That's the kind of people I like working with right there. That's my kind of people. Not only is he out there doing the work, he'll tell you about it. He ain't afraid, because people go, "Oh, you can get sued doing that." I've heard other people in that business go, "Man, he hadn't been, this, that, or whatever. You're trampling on their civil rights." He goes, "Yeah, I don't give a shit. Sue me. Here, scumbag." All right, everybody. Cole Hauser's weight's down. He's down to 256. He's down from 312 to 256. You must be cutting weight for, what do you got, a meet this weekend, or what's up? One of these days, he's gonna wind up coming down here to one of the meetups. It'll be in Texas. I'll roll up there. I think, I don't remember what the next one is. It's in September. It's outside of Dallas, I think. I'm gonna make that drive. Gained 8 pounds in Orlando. That's an easy town to do it in. I'm gonna make that drive. I'm gonna get this monstrous tap on my shoulder and be like, "Ah, shit." I can just tell. That's Cole Hauser. I don't even have to turn around. I feel like somebody hit me in the back with a 5-pound sledge and he's tapping me with his index finger. "Hey, Sheriff." I'll be like, "Oh, damn it. I'm busted." No, I like watching Sheriff Grady work. I love the fact that he don't give a shit. He like, "You might get sued. You might get this. You might get that." I don't care. I don't give two shits. I want to play just a little bit of this. I like that Alina Habba got out in front of God and everybody, and especially in front of the gals on The View, and did her thing.
So why should anyone believe this pattern of targeting Trump's enemies is about justice and not revenge?
It's about justice and not revenge. Oh my God, the whole Sonny Hook. Oh God, I hate these women. I hate these women with a goddamn passion.
If you think that the Russian collusion hoax, if you think that the things that we've now seen evidence of in this Department of Justice aren't real, I just tell you to sit tight, because things are coming.
I just love the grit on the sand on her, boy. She is right in the lion's den, just spitting bullets. Like, you think this is bad? You just wait, honey. You just wait. Every time I see The View, I want to throw up. I don't see The View ever. I know the only time I see it is on X. That's what I'm talking about, Jim. That's why I love the sand on this gal. It wasn't just go on there and go, "Well, it wasn't a defense of, well, no, we're just, enforcing the laws. It was." She's like, oh no, you think that's bad? You just wait, sweetheart. First of all, Sonny Hostin and her husband should be in damn jail. That's a stone cold. I ain't even making that up. He's been indicted. I hope he goes to jail forever. Criminal scumbag. And his wife can go right along with him. And then Joy Behar can go on some weird Ozempic fueled freak out and binge drink herself right into. She takes a walk off of a yacht somewhere, one of her rich ass friends. After 3 days of looking for her, they give up. That'd be just fine with me. I can't. Ugh. Nobody watches that show on purpose. They end up there. And then there's Liz Cheney on The View. Yeah, I wouldn't put her in that. Yeah, Alina Habba, she didn't. It wasn't, "Oh no, everything, you guys we're just doing our job." It wasn't, "We're just doing our job." She basically, yeah, we're going to tune you up. Fuck are you going to do about it? You ain't seen nothing yet, sweetheart. I love that clip. It's about time, too. It's time to start giving that. The time for being patient and nice and all that and understanding, that time is long. We're way past that. We are way past that. Normally, I don't do, yeah, Joy, Sonny. Darth Yeager says they all have such happy names that they're full of darkness and vitriol. Boy, you talk about ironic naming. Whoopi, Joy, Sonny. That shit's got to be on purpose. You know what, Darth? I never thought about that before. That's weird. That one's going to keep me up till 2 a.m. Did somebody plan this? Did they pick them specifically because? Nah, couldn't be. Couldn't be. I got to get this. Normally, I don't do this too much. I'm not a truth social guy. I don't do any social media. That's not my jam. But I did really like this one. Number one, I thought it was cool because really it's just a can of spray paint. I think this is funny. But the part that I wanted to get out in front was actually watch this map as it's going, as it plays. Watch the map and get a good grasp of the scale of what actually is going on here. Because this is going to take us into where we need to go with the redistricting talk that we're going to have. All right, I'm going to learn one of these days how to make that bigger. I'm doing what I can. Anyway, I'm not a technology guy, but watch this map carefully as this occurs. I'm going to turn the music off for a second to do this because it's got its own. That, much like in Jaws, I want you to take a good long look at that billboard. Take a good long look at that sign. Those proportions are correct. Let's do it just for scale again. Here to here. Now, if you do it strictly by party registration, if you do it strictly by the rules that gerrymandering was originally supposed to have, this is correct. This is what they had been doing or proposing. This is correct. Now, here's why. Plus, I think that's a great song, and I think that's one of the better memes they put out in a while. I thought that was funny as shit. Sam and Dave, Blues Brothers. Yeah, just in case. Sam and Dave, if you're ever looking for that, just go on whatever music format you didn't put Sam and Dave. You'll see that. You'll find it. Why would you do that to yourself watching The View? Might as well ask a blue-haired land whale to give you a nut shot. Yeah. Hey, tell me about that face piercing. What happened? Did you fall face first into a box of fishing tackle, or what's up with that there? Smooth brain. And then, see what happens. It's about the response you're going to get from those idiots. They're done and they know it. They know they're finished. That's why they're making such a squawk. They know they're on the way out. They're going to get their last shots in while they can. I just dug the music on that. Plus, I thought that was a pretty straightforward meme. So let's talk about this for a minute. Let's talk about what the media tells you happened. And let's talk about what actually happened. I got a story here. I believe this is in Lynchburg. So I'm guessing this is Tennessee, because all these news stations they're just affiliates. So if you've seen one, you've seen them all. Florida, Tennessee, Georgia, Colorado, Montana. It don't matter. They're all the same shit. It's either ABC, NBC, or CBS affiliate. And then they all look the same. All their logos, their graphics, everything. It's carbon copy. So it doesn't. It's all the same shit. But this particular version is from Tennessee, I believe. In case anybody goes, where's that from? Supreme Court, first of all, love this headline. Supreme Court weakens the Voting Rights Act and aids GOP efforts to control the House. Not even remotely what occurred. None of that is true. That is not what the Supreme Court does, and they know it. What a crock of shit. We're going to skip some of this stuff because it's kind of bullshit. No, let's do the start. Supreme Court on Wednesday hollowed out a landmark civil rights era law that has increased minority representation in Congress and elsewhere, striking down a majority black congressional district in Louisiana. Here's, in a 6-3 ruling, court's conservative majority found that the Louisiana district represented by Democrat Cleo Fields relied too heavily on race. No, it relied exclusively on race. That district would not exist unless you did it on a racial basis. Chief Justice John Roberts described the 6th Congressional District as a snake that stretches more than 200 miles to link parts of Shreveport, Alexandria. Yeah, if you've seen the map, you saw it. It goes from the top of the state, top left corner, down to the bottom right corner of the state. What a crock of shit. Congressional representation districts should exist off of one thing: population. That's it. Well, how are they registered? Who gives a shit? Well, that's what the basis of it is. Yeah, I get that. But if we're going to fix this, let's just fix it. Yeah. The Virginia governor admitted they're doing this to control the House. Where's that heading? Oh, trust me, we'll get there. Don't worry about it. Don't read ahead, Cole Hauser. We'll get to it. Don't read ahead. Hang on, big fella. I'll let you know when to start smashing shit. Just hold on. That map is an unconstitutional gerrymander, Justice Samuel Alito wrote for the 6th Conservative. Yeah. Yes. And we're going to get to the important part of why. It's unclear how much of the provision known as Section 2 of the Voting Rights Act of 1965 remains. Well, all of it remains. You just can't do... Here, we'll get to this. Let me finish the story. Hold on, Jesus. In her dissent for the 3 liberal judges... Okay, so in her dissent for the Stygian witches, Elena Kagan wrote that the court's gutting of Section 2 puts that achievement in peril. The achievement of President Lyndon Johnson signing the Voting Rights Act. Shut the fuck. None of the... I hate revisionist history. My God. Lyndon Johnson was a absolute stone cold racist scumbag. Anybody doesn't believe me, go back and look into his real achievements. Go back and look into some of his actual words. They exist. You got to look a little bit to find them, but you want to talk about a racist. Oh my God. That guy was brutal. Her sentiment was shared by former President Barack Obama, who said, you know what? I don't care. I don't give a shit what he had to say. Former president, get out of my face. Valerie Jarrett did all of his, ran the whole thing for him. That guy's dumber than a bag of hammers. I will absolutely defend that statement. Slick talker all day long, great speechwriters. Dumber than a bucket of hair. In a state, he's got one trick. He is a one-trick pony. Racism, boom, he's done. You take the word racism out of the American lexicon, there wouldn't be a Democrat in office in this entire country. I can't. Oh, that guy. In the statement, Fields said the decision's practical effect is to make it far harder for minority communities to challenge redistricting maps that dilute their political voice. I'm going to get down. I'm going to do this right here. We're going to skip all that bullshit. I'm going to save that for a minute, but here's what we're going to do. Alito, oh, wait a minute. Voting rights law. Okay, let's do this. Part in the story here. Voting rights law succeeded in opening the ballot box to Black Americans and reducing persistent discrimination in voting. Nearly 70 of the 435 congressional districts are protected by Section 2. Election law expert Nicholas Stephanopoulos has estimated. If that's all you got to protect your district, then it's illegal. And here's why. Alito wrote that, quote, allowing race to play any part in government decision-making represents a departure from the constitutional rule that applies in almost every other context. End quote. He said, and this is outside of quotations, but he said Section 2 is effectively limited to instances of intentional discrimination, a very high standard. The rest of the story from what you just saw is absolute bullshit and is a waste of, it's a bunch of left-wing, smoke-filled coffeehouse bullshit. Because what that man said right there, what Justice Alito said is exactly what this whole thing was about. You cannot base your voting. Let's do this. What Democrats have done is take a law that was designed to prevent racists from keeping black people from voting, and they have turned it into an excuse to cheat. That's it. Like everything else, they took a good idea and just fucked it all up. You start here, and it's not about it. You get, okay, we got racism in check now. Everybody's on the same level footing. But then one person gets the idea, oh, you know what we could do? We could use that rule to get a little bit of an advantage right here. And it works, and nobody really, challenges it right off the bat. And then they use it again and get even farther ahead by cheating. And then we cheat a little bit more. Cheating is like, any other addiction, any other criminal behavior. You do it once, you get away with it, you're going to try it again. The more you get away with it, the more you're going to try it. And that's exactly what happened with redistricting. Well, if we can just snatch that group right over there, let's add them to our district. We can get more seats. Well, that's not even remotely what this was for. How are we going to justify that? Well, there's 3 black people that live over there in that, in that town of 10,000. Yeah. And well, we could say that they're underrepresented because there's nobody, in that seat and they go, okay, well, somebody eventually is going to challenge that. Nah, we'll just keep doing it. We got away with these other 1,400 examples of it. Let's just do it again. Pretty soon, you are living under the tyranny of the minority. And the only reason that they have gotten away from it thus far is because nobody wants to call a spade, which is your demand for racism far outstrips the supply. It's not an excuse anymore. It doesn't fly. Forget it. This is about numbers. It's about location. No more cheating. No more bullshit. I do not care. I'm going to put this up in front of everybody. Cole Hauser. I hate everyone. I don't care about race. I'm going to give you I'm not quite at that spot. I'm at this spot. I give everybody the same discriminatory eye the first 30 seconds I meet you. I don't care what color you are. I don't care how big you are, how small you are, what you got between your legs, or who you use it on. That is not my concern. I want to know who you are inside in the first 30 seconds that I meet you, because that's about all it takes for everybody that I've ever met to tell you pretty much who they are right off the bat. Hey, Beast, welcome aboard. It don't take that long, and I don't care. I'm not, you know why? And I'm going to tell you, here's how it worked for me. It takes roughly 4 pounds of pressure to pull a trigger. Most human beings that you meet on the street, with very, very few exceptions. I'm talking little kids now. I'm talking tiny ones. Just about everybody I've ever met in my life can exert 4 pounds of pressure. You know what that means? Anybody I meet's got the potential to do me in. That's how I came to that arrangement. Is that sort of a weird way to look at life? Well, yeah, it was sort of a necessity at one point. But here's what I learned from that. Not only did that keep me alive, it also taught me a very valuable lesson. By and large, most people are really good people. But you get to tell the scumbags from the good ones real quick. There's tips and tricks to it, and you figure out, okay, this person's here to do me in. And you learn, and I mean this, I'm not exaggerating, I'm not blowing smoke. You learn there ain't a color or a sex that line discriminates against. It doesn't matter. I don't care who you are. There's good people and there's bad people, and it got nothing to do with color of your skin or who you rub that skin up against. It really doesn't. People go, well, you have groups of, yeah, okay. You want to do the group dynamic. We do that a different day. We ain't going to do it today. I ain't going to deny it. I'm just, there's a reason for that. And it doesn't necessarily track with, the politics of victimhood. And that's all this shit is. I mean this when I say, you listen to any Democrat platform. You listen to any Democrat talk and give you their ideas about politics, how they're going to come in and do you a favor, what they're going to do for you. That's not how government works. You take victimhood, racism, sexism, any of their DEI buzzwords, you take that out of that platform, you're going to have, their whole platform is going to be, hi, my name is. After that, it disappears. There's nothing left. You want to vote for a politician, you get somebody that go, hey, I'm going to take the very little bit of money that we need from you to run this and run it efficiently and make sure that we stay out of your way in every other respect. I'm a Jeffersonian. Government that governs least governs best. I want to hear from somebody that says, look, I'm here because government is a necessary evil in our life. If we're going to live as a society, I'm going to take as little money as possible from you to do as much with it as we can to take care of the stuff that you don't have time to do in your life and do it well. That's what government's here for. All the rest of this writing injustice and all that, them days are past. Those people are dead. If you want to get into, I hear about reparations, that makes me absolutely insane. Hey, my people got starved clean out of our country too and burned out and sent to, in prison colony ships to a land where the primary form of communication is screaming. Hell, there were places in this country up until the Civil Rights Act, people of my skin color got treated the same, if not worse, than people of other skin colors. You think I'm lying? Do some history. Think the Irish don't got some bitch? Think the Chinese don't got some bitch? Think Indians don't got some bitch? Man, I get tired of that shit. Everybody takes a beating. Everybody takes a beating. If you're going to walk around and cry like a pussy, that's your business. You're going to stand up and just, dust yourself off and go back at it. That's good on you. Welcome aboard. But this is a perfect example of finally the world healing itself, where somebody took a look at the actual rules and went, wait a minute. Whoa, hold on a second. We've actually flipped the script here. We have gone completely 180 degrees from what this law was actually set up to do. We originally said you can't use somebody's skin color to decide how they vote. And now you're trying to set up entire districts allowing people to vote based solely on their skin color. Well, man, what are we doing? And it got fixed. And now it needs to get fixed throughout the entire country. And it'll take time. I saw somebody this morning make a comment about Democrats are going to use this to blah, blah, blah. No, they're going to use it. No, it can work against you. No, it can't. No, it can't. Because their entire plan of attack was built on, I'm a victim because of A, B, C, and D. And now it's, no, you ain't. I don't care what your status is. You vote the same as everybody else. You just, if you just stop and look long enough, you realize how batshit crazy it gets. They took I talk about an ounce of truth wrapped in a pound of lie. They took an ounce of truth and wrapped it in a pound of bullshit over 50 years, 60 years, and turned into a complete nightmare. And now it's become much like unions. I get on unions all the time. Unions have become the very thing they were set up to defeat. The man robbing you of the money that you hard earned yourself. Instead of giving it to your corporation that you work for, now you give it to the unions. How does that? Will they help you? No, they don't. Get in trouble, go ask your union for help. They ain't doing nothing for you but getting more money for themselves. I ain't going to go too far down that road. Shit, we could do this all day long. And this is not the black pill. None of this is to go, God, look how crazy it is. No, that's to say it got crazy. But starting yesterday, somebody Sam Alito finally sat down and wrote the words that people have been needing to hear for the last 25 years, which is, you're cheating. Stop it. You're not a victim. Get up. Get your dead ass off the couch. Go get it yourself. And the rest of us that have been living under the tyranny of the minority get to go, so there. All right, I went all batshit crazy. I'm done now. Thanks for sticking with me through that. I hope I didn't offend anybody. I don't really give a shit. Actually, that's not true. I ain't gonna lie. I hope I did offend somebody. I hope somebody's out there watching. They go, this guy's full of shit. Good, get on here. Get your dead ass on here and tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong. Anyway, it won't happen. It ain't gonna happen. I am super excited to tell everybody about this evening. I'm going to go on with the Outlaws tonight. 7 o'clock Central, 8 o'clock Eastern. Spider, tell me if that Spider down at, or Beast, tell me if I'm wrong. It is 7 o'clock. If you Cole Hauser, the Canadian Colossus. Canadian words of wisdom. If you're able to go to Popeyes, you can get your ass out to go vote. That is no lie, sir. 7 my time. 7 Central. Thank you, Spider. 7 Central, 8 Eastern. Unfiltered Outlaws tonight. We're going to kick some stuff around and make fun of some people, which I'm pretty good at, frankly. So is Beast. I think Beast, I feel bad. Beast is, everything was fine until She-Hulk just broke him. She-Hulk just broke him like a cheap Chinese toy. Broke him like a, what's the cheap, somebody help me out, some collector. Cole Hauser, you'll know this. What's the cheapest toy you could buy when you were a kid? I remember the little tiny Star Wars figures. I think it was Kenner originally, that the arms would just snap off of them the minute you tried to move them. I had a stormtrooper one time. I went to move his arm and the whole damn thing come off of my hand. And I wasn't a big sheriff at the time. I was a tiny sheriff. But yeah, poor Beast, man. I saw that. Go Bots. There you go. Go Bots. Hey, look, the wings flip out. Oh, man. What the? There's a $1.75 down the drain. Roll over to Woolworths, pick up a new GoBot toy. Snap it in half the minute you took it out of the bubble wrap. Oh my goodness. Thank you all so much for coming by today. We're gonna have a good time tonight. Make sure you hit it. Unfiltered Outlaws, 7 Eastern. Or 7 Central, 8 Eastern. Go over there to their channel and sub up if you haven't. I'm sure you all have. Hit the notifications, hit that little bell, and then put it on always. It'll tell you when they're on. Show up there and have a good time with us. Yeah, I'm dead. Italian Jim, good point. You saw Made in Japan. You're like, you would walk straight by that on the shelf. You wouldn't even pick it up. Now I'd give anything for a Made in Japan something. I miss Craftsman tools too, man. You got to beat the shit out of it for 10, 15 years. And then finally one day the handle snaps and you take it over to Sears and go, hey, I dropped this out of the cart. Consequently, why they're not in business anymore. But you because of dickheads like me that abused it. Take it in the store and go, hey, I dropped this out of my truck and it broke. And they just go, okay, walk over to the rack and get you another one and go, here you go, and walk out the store. You only ever had to buy a Craftsman tool one time. It was people like me. I'll admit it. I was people like me that dicked it up for everybody. I'm sorry. All right, let's get on out of here. Let's go check out, see what's going on Daily. I will probably be around this afternoon. Actually, I don't know. I got some stuff to do before the show tonight, so I don't know. But if I get a chance, I'll sneak some gaming in this afternoon. We'll see what's going on. I want to bust out that Retro Jaws. We played Dinkum for a while. I'm going to bust out that Retro Jaws, see what's going on with that. I watched Mo completely melt down one night playing that. We'll see what happens. Anyway, y'all have a good one. Be good to yourselves. Be good to the people you love. Make sure you tell them you love them today. do something nice for yourself as well. Make one person laugh. And be good to the people that we don't feel like being good to, because that's what the good Lord told us to do. I'll catch y'all tomorrow.
I'm just about done here. I never did know your name.
Yes, you do. Take care.
Yes, sir, Captain.
Well, that's great. That's just fucking great, man. Now what the fuck are we supposed to do? We're some real pretty shit now, man.
You finished?
It's the end of the road. You bastards!
Between Glamorgan and Yorkshire, the Yorkshire bowler Nicholson took 8 wickets for 3 runs. Glamorgan were all out for 36 and therefore won the match by an innings and 7 runs. Weather for tomorrow will be cloudy with occasional outbreaks of rain. And that is the end of the news.